He literally says he's New York first. How are we supposed to interpret that any differently?
And then Portnoy is like, he's a socialist, he's a communist.
Last thing I wanted to
he's a communist, he's doing all these things. It's like, Portnoy, just say you're upset about the Israel.
Right.
Like, stop acting like you don't live in New York.
That was Andrew Schulz, host of the Flagrant podcast, calling out Dave Portnoy's take on Zohran Mamdani. Portnoy, of course, is deeply opposed to Mamdani, and while Schulz voted for Trump last election, he's been arguing that Democratic socialists like Mamdani are the real America First candidates. Now, the two of them are publicly fighting, and we're enjoying watching it. This all started last week when Portnoy said the following about Mamdani. Take a look.
I think this is one of the worst, scariest candidates. He calls himself a democratic socialist. He's not. He's a socialist. He's closer to a communist. And I honestly believe this. This is a city where 9/11 happened. He'd be quicker to blame the finance people in the building than the people who flew the planes into the building. Like, that's how he thinks. He's always looking at the criminals as basically the injustice. It is crazy to me that he's there, but hey, this is a democracy.
That same week, Schulz said that Democratic socialists like Bernie Sanders and Zohran Mamdani are the ones who actually put Americans first. Here's that clip.
The only party right now that to me seems America first is the Democrat Socialist Party.
Yep.
Bernie is America first. Mamdani and all his ideas that he will not be able to execute, and I frankly think many of them are not good ideas, even if they do execute. I frankly think I disagree with them, but he is no doubt New York first.
Now, Dave Portnoy called Schulz out in response to this post. Holy blank, Jamie Dimon on Democrats today. I have a lot of friends who are Democrats today, and they're idiots. I always say they have big hearts and little brains. They do not understand how the real world works. Almost every single policy they rolled out has failed. Now, JP Dimon, of course, is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, which was one of the leaders in instituting credit default swaps and collateralized debt obligations, which of course helped us all tremendously in the late 2000s. But let's go on. Portnoy, quote, tweeted that, writing, I think he's talking specifically about Andrew Schulz saying Mamdani is America first. Schulz wrote a lengthy response to that thread. He's right about Dems leaning too far into identity politics, but that's not what I'm saying. Dave, we texted about this privately. I told you there's nothing about funding endless foreign wars that Americans don't want while Americans can't afford rent that is America first. There's nothing about covering up an international pedophile blackmail ring that's America first. There's nothing about super PACs manipulating our democracy for their own benefit. He's starting to sound like a lib here, Brett. Let's go on to some more. He keeps going. He names other instances, of course, that we all see are not really America first in Trump's campaign and policy. And that brings us a story around full circle to the clip you saw in the cold open. Here's more of Schulz calling out Portnoy.
Stop acting like you care if like a socialist communist runs New York. You're upset because he said globalize the intifada. Just make it about that. You're allowed to make it about that.
Sure.
But don't.
And they tried already, actually.
Yeah, and it doesn't work. But like,
you spend enough days, just enough days here to not pay New York taxes, and then you go back. I don't blame you for it. I do it too. But like, let's be honest.
Stop it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and you're allowed to be upset about that. You should say globalize the intifada and then not backing it off, knowing what it means to people. It's like that's up, and you should be able to be held accountable for it, and he can be up. But don't give me this, I'm afraid of communism and socialism, and try to attribute this thing Jamie Dimon said to me.
Oh, Jamie Dimon knows what New Yorkers are going through.
Yeah,
he knows what real New Yorkers are going through.
Portnoy hit back, writing, that was a bananas take from Andrew Schulz for multiple reasons. The company I own is headquartered in New York City. Any American should care that the biggest city in America could be run by a socialist/communist. Andrew and I texted about Zohran. He basically agreed with everything I said, and zero of it was about Israel. Weird to then turn and say I should stop acting like I care about New York City. If anybody is doing acting, it ain't me. Portnoy even leaked his texts with Schulz. He posted 2 screenshots of a private conversation. And for the sake of time, we'll just show you the first one. Zohran hates capitalism. I think it is why the country has worked. He has openly said he wants as many socialists in power to have a revolution. He hates the police. He thinks crime is a social construct. He defended the Boston Marathon bomber. He hates ambition and success. Communists and socialism never work. I hate his policies, hate his logic. I think he wants to help. He's just trying to help in the wrong way. I was being hyperbolic when I said they're the America First Party. I was trying to say what Trump is doing with extending foreign wars and Epstein cover-up is not America First. Now, Brett, I know you're a big fan of both of these guys. What camp are you in?
I like
in this fight.
I'm on the comedian side usually. Like I'm on Schultz's side in this for sure, which is crazy. I love these two guys because I didn't know whether either was Jewish. You know what I mean? Like Schultz is not. What? I guess he's really tall, but like Portnoy is. I didn't know that. I don't know. You have to be Jewish to really get that. But yeah, like in this scenario, Andrew Schulz, I'm very grateful for because at least he indicates he's an influencer and he's helping to indicate what a certain point of view is to me in a way that makes total sense, right? Like the fact that these guys are like either Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders. Theo Vaughn says, I thought you guys should be on the same ticket to Bernie Sanders. They misunderstood stuff that people who are really in the thick of it and have been and really care focus on. But like that concept of America firstiness can be applied a lot of different ways. And I would prefer that it was applied genuinely by people who mean it to protect the jobs of people, to protect like the good, hardworking Americans first. Then to be like Trump's on the same side as Jamie Dimon here. Jamie Dimon is a guy who says like, oh my God, all your ideas are so stupid. And as Jordan puts out, like, yeah, you realize when you talk about success in America, as every day passes where we have your policies in place, like, yes, it does work for you and your friends and everyone on the Epstein list. You know who it doesn't work for? An increasingly large amount of people in America who are playing by the rules that everybody espoused and said would work out for them in the end if they just played by them. But when you guys get it wrong, Jamie Dimon, with your credit default swaps, you don't have any negative consequences. Someone comes in and bails you out. Where an America Firster would bail out the people whom you robbed along the way to get so rich. Like there's that. I will say, no one's gonna like this, but Globalize intifada. Just the logic there. I hope everybody knows that when people go like intifada just means like resistance, right? Is that what it means, Jordan?
Yeah, it's a resistance or armed resistance.
Holocaust just means burnt offering,
fighting back.
And I'm not saying that those two words mean the same thing. I'm just saying like when your argument is this translates directly to that, that's not, yeah. Holocaust just means burnt offering. Like you can find a way better way. You could say globalize a resistance. You could say global uprising and you could say that. But like intifada literally.
The thing is, he's not the one saying it. They're just taking something that they want to make a wedge issue.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's why I said it at the end. I'm like, this is there's a better way to say that. No, don't focus on that. What I said, just like apply it.
Yeah,
but
if you,
but like
they can't really criticize.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people for whom, and when they say that socialism doesn't work, there's so many like wildly socialist things everybody loves. Medicare, Social Security. When you're talking about like even the way that the fire department is a socialist program. Do you got to pay for it every time? No. And there's other countries that do have like nationalized socialist health services and they live longer than us and pay less for it. So even your like monetary arguments don't work. And that's something that Zohran's running on. And it's possible for people like Andrew Schulz to say, like, I don't agree with all of it. Now that might be code, he might be reading the room, he is a comedian. But the reason I say I'm usually on the sides of comedians is there's some of the few people left in this world who go into rooms full of random people every night. No one else does that. Portnoy was kind of doing that. He's like, oh, I'm speaking to a party of one here talking about capitalism. But like Comedians go into random rooms full of random people every night. People who are looking to have a good time. They're still like trying to be offended sometimes, and they have to walk through the raindrops. So at least you can learn something from a comedian, a real comedian with a podcast who's really trying to like do the comedy work as opposed to like just build an audience through like clickbait, which I do think that like Akash, and I don't know them at all specifically, but they do hang out with like a lot of people who we would say that watch TYT are like very progressive comedians, and they all get along.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.